sang us a beautiful prayer song, and she talked about a lot of our traditions as indigenous people, about how we are supposed to conduct ourselves in this world. And I know that she, I really want to thank you for those words of wisdom, Thomasita, for coming out here and providing that. I know that growing up in Oakland, I wasn't so fortunate to have lost that language of hate and cursing. And actually, I think that the only time that I lost it for a long time was when we were at Sigorate and we reoccupied our land for 110 days, and nobody can curse on that land, right? And so I learned how to curb my sailor tongue at that time. And so, I'm grateful for those ceremonies that teach me obedience and teach me how to behave myself and teach me how to do those kinds of things and to walk in this world and to be humble in that kind of way. So I'm also thankful to be reminded of those things. And although we come here in a way of prayer, just like we were at Sigorate, does not mean that we are not fighting. It does not mean that we are not strong. It does not mean that we have given up. It means that we have learned to come together in ways that are different. It doesn't mean that we can say, no sainthood for Sarah, right? Let's all say it. No sainthood for Sarah. As he's being canonized at this time, we need to be really loud so these priests here that are celebrating can hear us. So let's say it again. No sainthood for Sarah! Right. We do not believe in this Catholic empire who have enslaved our ancestors for hundreds of years. Our ancestors had so much here in this, what I call the Garden of Eden, in the Bay Area, where nothing and no one ever went hungry. When you walk down the streets of what is now San Francisco, what used to be Yalamu, you see hungry people every day. People were never homeless, and every day you see homeless people living on the streets. Every day you see people closing their doors to folks. This is what the missions brought to us. They brought us a different way of thinking about our lives, that our lives were more important than anyone else's. And a lot of Native traditions were taught that we should be humble, because nothing on this earth needs human beings. But we need everything in order to survive. As human beings, we forget that sometimes. And I think that, us coming together allows us to remember that we're human beings and we can touch each other in that kind of way. And it doesn't matter what color we are or what our belief systems are, as long as we come together in one strong voice. And what is that strong voice saying today? No sainthood for Sarah. Awesome! I love it. We're going to be loud. I want to bring a couple of sisters up here who I met in 2011. I was blessed while I was on my traditional land at Sigorate to have these women and some other Pacific Islanders come up and do some honoring songs for our ancestors up there. And they honored us with tapa cloth, and they have continued to be respectful and have always worked alongside of indigenous people's work here in the Bay Area since I have known them. And so I would like to bring up these two sisters, Loa and Fui Lupe Numatolo.